Now that we have our 5 major open chords, we can start learning our minor open chords. And these are A minor, strumming from the A string, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0. D minor, strumming from the D string, 0, 2, 3, 1. And E minor, strumming from the E string, so all of them, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. So you'll probably notice these 3 chords are very similar to A major, D major, and E major. And that's because there's only one note that changes in each chord. And it's always the highest note that we're fretting. Highest is in terms of pitch, the low E being the lowest note in pitch, and the high E being the highest note in pitch. So as we go across the strings, we're getting higher. And as we go up the neck, we're getting higher. So if I show you on A, remember the highest fretted note drops down by 1 fret. So that would be my pinky. It's the 2nd fret of the B string. I'm going to play the 1st fret of the B string for an A. I keep that same shape and just change my pinky out from my index finger. Now we can do that with D as well. It's not as smooth of a change, but it's the same idea. Your highest fretted note, so it's my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the E, drops down by 1 fret. So I'm going to play 1st fret with my index finger of the E string. I rearrange my fingers, and there you have D minor. And the same thing for E. E major to E minor is probably the easiest change, because all we have to do is lift up our index finger. That's because when we go from the 1st fret to an open string, it's like dropping 1 fret. So E major, lift your index finger up, E minor. And you can play these as exercises. Play A major to A minor just a few times. See if you can speed up. And like that, get some muscle memory and finger independence. If you do that for E, E major, E minor. That sounds pretty easy. Now when we do D, that one's a little bit more complicated because we have to rearrange our fingers. But at the same time, this is excellent for finger independence. So spend some time and just move between these 2 chords, the major version to the minor version, to get your fingers a little bit more used to those shapes. The progression we're going to use to practice these chords is going to go like this. A minor, D minor, E major, and back to A minor. So the E major gives it a little bit more of that edge and makes it sound more like flamenco or Spanish guitar. So pause the video, practice this progression, and see if you can switch quickly between all 3 of those chords. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. To make it a little bit more difficult, let's try to strum on 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you might have noticed this whole time I'm not using a pick, but I'm using my thumb to strum. To give it that Spanish sound, you want a little bit warmer tone, and whether you use a pick or your fingers, it really influences the tone coming out of your guitar. Now in this next step, we're only going to pluck 1 string. We're going to pluck the A string whenever we're on the A minor chord. We're going to pluck the D string whenever we're on the D chord. And we're going to pluck the E string whenever we're on the E chord. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, In this next step, we're going to add a strum after our pluck on beat 2, and it'll sound like this. So pause the video, try it out. What I'm doing is I'm plucking the lowest note, so the A for the A chord, and then strumming the whole chord. Then plucking the D string, and then the whole D minor chord, and then the E string, and strumming the whole E major chord. To give it that really nice Spanish sound, one thing you can try if you're comfortable enough is to use the back of your fingers just to grace the strings. So if I do it like that, it would sound like this. Don't worry about being too precise, just give it a shot, and the more you do it, the easier it'll become. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. The last thing we're going to do is just add one more strum on beat 3. This will really force you to switch quickly between the chords and get more independence between your hands. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, I'm going to play this a few more times, each time a little faster so you can practice the different versions that I showed you today. You can strum with your thumb or with your pick. You can strum just with the back of your fingers, maybe on beat 1. Or you can do the pluck, strum, or pluck, strum, strum versions that I showed you at the end. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. As a bonus, I'm going to show you one version that's even harder than those. We're going to pluck, strum with our fingers, strum up with our thumb, and then strum down with our fingers. So if I show you without any chords, it would be a pluck, strum, strum up, strum down. So that's plucking with your thumb, strum down with your fingers, strum up with your thumb, strum down with your fingers. If I count that out, it would be 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now pause, try that out, see if you can get it faster and faster, and then try this version out with me as I play along with the metronome. 1, 2, 3. And now a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1,